Funding provided by
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we're committed to our foundation of personalized service while treating our customers like family and valuing our employees. Fairway Meat and Grocery, that's what we're all about.
by Muscle Lighting, the sports lighting specialists, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community.
Small businesses are the backbone of Iowa's communities, and they are backed by Iowa banks. With advice, loans, and financial services, banks across Iowa are committed to showing small businesses the way to a stronger tomorrow. Learn more at iowabankers.com.
A beautiful Saturday afternoon. The ice starting to head out of the Des Moines River, but it's plenty warm inside Wells Fargo Arena. Why not spend a Saturday afternoon in a state championship game? We have Class 2A, two undefeated teams, Maquoketa Valley and the Dike New Hartford Wolverines. Number one, number two, no one's lost. Something's got to give. Welcome inside. Alongside Laura Leonard, I'm Paul Yeager, and Laura, we haven't had this at all this week where we've had two undefeated teams in the finals. The only one this year. Sure, we've got a rematch, but we have two extremely good defensive teams, two very similarly matched offensive teams. Something's got to give.
Yeah, you look at it on paper, and they are mirror images of one another. And so what's going to give, and you look at the statistics from this week, it's going to be the battle of the glass, and I think Dike New Hartford is a team that has really done a good job of getting to the glass, and that may be where the game is won.
The Wolverines, a familiar name in volleyball. This is their fourth trip to state in basketball. They were a semifinals. This program has taken baby steps. Tough D, Laura. They're averaging 19 steals a game as well. Defense wins championships?
Absolutely. Yes, it does. It does. Every coach will tell you that.
And for the Wildcats, their sixth trip to state, they've got three seniors, Ella Emler, who had the winning free throws in the semifinal, Taya Tucker, but it's Emerson Wittenbaugh who's just been outstanding in this tournament so far. What's the key for Mac Valley?
I think that they just have to settle down, play their game, and do what they have done all season long to get them to this point.
All right, let's go inside the arena and courtside. And time for the Iowa Bankers Scholarship.
Fans, each year at the Girls State Basketball Tournament, the Iowa Bankers Association presents the Student Athlete Achievement Award to a student athlete who excels on the court, in the classroom, and in her community. The recipient receives a $1,000 scholarship to the college of her choice. The 2021 Student Athlete Achievement Award winner is Lexi Scheich from Nottoway Valley High School. Presenting the 2021 award is Julie Williams from FNB Fontanelle. Congratulations to Lexi Scheich, and thank you to Julie Williams with FNB Fontanelle and the Iowa Bankers Association for their sponsorship of this award and continued support of the IGHSAU.
Dike New Hartford fans, let's hear it for your Wolverines. Hey, Maquoketa Valley fans, let's hear it for your Wildcats.
Fans, it's now time to introduce the players in tonight's championship matchup. First, the non-starters for the Dike New Hartford Wolverines. Number 3, Jaden Peterson. Number 5, Addie Sohn. Number 11, Camille Lanfair. Number 15, Marin Bixby. Number 31, Whitney Waters. Number 35, Madeline Norton. Number 45, Taylor Haynes. Number 53, Abby Sohn. And number 55, Taya Curtis. The assistant coaches for Dike New Hartford are Matt Dove, Amber Geringer, and Ashley Bennigan. And now, fans, let's meet the non-starters for the Maquoketa Valley Wildcats. Number 3, Kaylin Sands. Number 5, Kennedy Roush. Number 11, Ella Menson. Number 22, Anna Nefsker. Number 23, Liz McDowell. Number 25, Haley Ronnebaum. Number 31, Caitlin Nolan. Number 33, Isabel Imler. Number 35, Paige Winter. And number 44, Erin Knipper. The assistant coaches for Maquoketa Valley are Brad Huber, Jesse Wooten, Heidi Hager, and Allie Sherman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for tonight's starting lineups? For Dike New Hartford, a 6-foot sophomore, number 13, Ellery Knock. And from Maquoketa Valley, a 5'8" junior, number 10, Carissa Sabers. For Dike New Hartford, a 5'3" junior, number 21, Taylor Kowali. And for Maquoketa Valley, a 5'9" junior, number 13, Kylie Chestnut. For Dike New Hartford, a 5'11" senior, number 23, Paula Gonzalez. And for Maquoketa Valley, a 5'6" senior, number 15, Ella Imler. For Dike New Hartford, a 5'6" freshman, number 25, Peyton Peterson. And from Maquoketa Valley, a 5'9" senior, number 20, Taya Tucker. For Dike New Hartford, a 5'6" junior, number 33, Sophia Hoffman. And from Maquoketa Valley, a 5'10" senior, number 21, Emerson Whittenlaw. The head coach for Dike New Hartford is Bruce Dahl, and the head coach for Maquoketa Valley is Scott Monk. The floor officials this evening are Thomas McQuillan, Robert Smith, Breanne Byerly, and the bench official is Bob Squires. Welcome Dike New Hartford and Maquoketa Valley to the 2021 Class 2A Championship game.
The jungle seems appropriate, Laura, where you would have Wolverines and Wildcats meet, so let's do it in the state championship game. What are the keys for Dike New Hartford?
1 quarter at a time. They can't let the nerves get in the way, and they need to play like they're playing from behind, and that's what Coach Dahl had said. And they're going to switch up defenses, start with that 2-3 zone, maybe see a 1-3-1, maybe see some other things.
And for Maquoketa Valley?
They need to rely on fundamentals. They need to be fundamentally sound, and they've done that all season. And we talked about it early, win the battle of the boards.
The opening tip at 4:09 on Saturday, March the 6th, 2021, and it's the 2A title game, and the first shot for the Wolverines is off the mark, and Maquoketa Valley will get their first offensive possession. That's Imler now up to Sabers. Now inside, they try to go to Tucker, who's had a couple of huge games. Not a lot of points to show, but's done everything right there. So now Dike New Hartford goes to work again on offense. Hoffman, way outside three, no, for Chestnut, and it's rebound, Emerson Wittenbaugh. Both teams early shots here so far, Laura.
Early and quick shots as well. They're not taking any time. They're letting it fly, and they're attacking on both ends.
Wittenbaugh way out front. Now they swing it back over to Sabres. Maquoketa Valley in their home white uniforms. Back door, they go up two, and that's a travel by Chestnut. Kind of an over pursuit on the top on Wittenbaugh, kind of going back door. Looked familiar to like what West Lyon did earlier today.
Well, and they had the 2-3 zone. They got that back line up a little high. That left room on the baseline.
No score early on. The Hoffman who puts it in for two. Sophia scores the first 2 points of the game.
Was lucky to get away without a charge and just continued to play, continued to finish right through it.
To the right side goes the Wildcats, and now we're gonna have a foul out front, Taylor Kowali. 6:29 to play here in the first quarter, 2-0. Dike New Hartford. Kowali, the first foul for the Wolverines.
Coach Dahl says she's an intense defender. She will get after you no matter where you are on the floor.
Wittenbaugh pulls up in transition and missed the mark. Rebound, Taya Tucker. She'll get another as she's fouled during the shot.
Good, strong rebound. Kept that ball up and then made that nice power move to the glass.
Laura, we hear it all the time when a coach calls a player a glue girl. Tucker's more than just that. She's the unwritten part of this offense and defense as she converts on the free throw. 3-2, Maquoketa Valley.
You know, really, they said, you know, points don't matter to her. She just wants to win ball games. And so however she can help the team win games, she will do it.
Ellery Knox three, misses wide. And Imler brings it up. Imler had a shadow against Nottoway Valley in the semifinal. We'll see if the Wolverines do the same thing, but with the 2-3 zone look, it'll be a little different. Three on the way, rattles around for Sabres, and Wittenbaugh back to Imler. Wittenbaugh opens up, kicks. So the 2-3 zone, Laura, on a team that might not shoot the ball so well from the outside. Is that a good defensive strategy?
Well, I think that allows them to maybe sag into the middle as well. If they're not that great of shooters from the outside, you can cheat a little bit, you can sag. And they're continuing, though, to pound it inside as Tucker is able to get another bucket.
5-2 Wildcats, 5:08 to play first quarter. Driving down and losing the handle is Ellery Knock, but that's because one of the Mac Valley players knocked it out. There's a look at Scott Monk on the sideline. The Anamosa native and a held ball. And it will go back to Maquoketa Valley on the alternating possession. A couple of different squads here too, Laura, as we see Dike New Hartford employ some pressure in the backcourt, which is something they've done. I think Imler is going to be called for either
I think it took them too long to get it across the half-court line.
Maquoketa Valley expected, I think, this year to be here. 3 seniors. Dike New Hartford was at the state tournament last year. Kind of overhauled the squad, 4 different players as they go inside to Peyton Peterson, and she's fouled in the act of shooting. Dike New Hartford replaced 4 players, and that's why Coach Dahl didn't set any team goals. He's like, I got to figure out who this team is. Team's got to figure out who they are. Entry pass is a foul, is Knock is fouled.
Yeah, they kind of felt like setting goals maybe not the best thing for this team, and after they played a few games, they realized, no, we don't necessarily need to set goals. We just need to continue to play and win, and really the only thing that he felt like they needed to work on was their free throw shooting and bring up that percentage.
Paula Gonzalez's three-point shot is no good, and the Wildcats get the rebound. The last foul was Emerson Wittenbaugh, and that is a story to watch. She got in foul trouble in the quarterfinal game against Rock Valley, and that was part of the reason Tucker was such a big part of the team. She had to pick up that. So teams identify players, and if they can get them into foul trouble, or as Imler in the transition shot, no good. Boy, the lid seems to be on the basket for both of these squads.
I think, again, maybe a little tightness for both teams. Aren't shooting it as pure as they normally would.
Paula Gonzalez misses there. She admitted in that first game she was extremely nervous. Said she felt more relaxed in the semifinal game, and her play showed it. Championship game's a whole nother ball of wax.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, for somebody like Paula Gonzalez, she's an exchange student. So maybe has never experienced a state tournament like is put on here in the state of Iowa.
Chestnut, the bucket. And the Wolverines have to take time out as Maquoketa Valley jumps out to a 7-2 lead. And how these two teams got here is, well, we've kind of hinted a little bit. Maquoketa Valley, the 1 seed, trailed at halftime against Rock Valley. Nottoway Valley knocked out North Lynn in a late game. And then in the morning on Tuesday, Dike New Hartford sent Trainer home, West Branch over Grundy Center. And then it was in the Battle of Valleys, Maquoketa winning. And the Wolverines at Dike New Hartford knocked out West Branch yesterday. And Governor Kim Reynolds has been here a couple of times this week. And there she is again. And we understand that Senator Charles Grassley, normally an attendee of the tournament, he's watching on the stream. Late vote this morning, early vote this morning, however you want to call it, late last night. So we still have some traditions, even in a different year, Laura.
Just a new way to do it. We've done it all that way for a year. Have just changed things and adapted, and that's what Senator Grassley is doing, watching on the stream, and he rarely misses a state tournament.
Hoffman in front, hits it. But the Senator does have maybe some rooting interest in this one, being from New Hartford.
Well, he probably has a favorite in this one that he's cheering for. Good dish on the outside, just a little strong.
Imler looks for help. Wittenbaugh comes to it. 7-4, 2:43. Three on the way, good! You bet, you bet, you bet, says Taya Tucker. She has 8 points.
Really doing a nice job of changing up her game, facing up, going inside, getting putbacks. She's just had a really nice first quarter here.
3 from Gonzalez. That one goes. Paula pounds it home from 3. Wolverines cut it to 3.
Give her a little daylight, and she likes to put it on the floor a lot, but she has that kind of range that she can knock them down, and you give her some room and she will let it fly.
Wittenbaugh flashes top side, loses it, gets it back, gets out of the lane. Now 3 for a moment. Thought about Wittenbaugh cutting, shooting, scoring.
That was a great sequence of passing. I kept thinking, okay, one more pass, one extra pass, and then finally the last pass, nice bounce pass inside.
And they go inside, do the Wolverines to Peyton Peterson. Peterson's been kind of quiet. She's been fouled twice. They just haven't gotten it into her yet. Is it because of the defense, or just maybe Dike New Hartford's maybe struggling to get it into her?
I think they're struggling to get it into her, and she's got to move to get herself open. So I think it's on both sides, trying to find the angles to get her the ball, and then she needs to move to get herself to where the defense is on her backside, and she can get big and call for the ball.
Wittenbaugh goes out. And the free throw is good from Peyton Peterson. And again, some pressure. And again, that time just keeps on ticking as Imler dribbles through, jump stop. Now Tucker. Three-headed monster on the front of that 2-3 zone with Lanfear in the game. And we're going to have a travel on Imler.
Yeah, they like to think that Lanfear, Kowali, and Hoffman are that three-headed monster up top that really causes havoc on the front part of that defensive stand that Dike New Hartford has.
Well, the defense works. It causes the turnover. Early on, Maquoketa Valley 3 turnovers, none for the Wolverines. Landfair with it. Gonzalez hit from almost that spot the last time. Gets it again. She'll shoot it again and not get it to go. And before Chestnut could get rid of it, she lost her footing, and that is another Maquoketa Valley turnover. Hoffman on the line, no. Emler the rebound. Final 45 seconds here in the first quarter.
Just kind of been a struggle for both teams to get in any kind of rhythm offensively.
Chestnut open, pump fakes the defenders. Chestnut's been part of the strategy of a couple of teams thinking she's not looking to shoot. The last 2 games, she has shot the ball well at key times to kind of, maybe that'll open up some other looks.
And they forgot about her behind the back line of defense, but there you go. You find Kowali wide open, and she gets the answer.
She pulls it within 2, so we are going to be at a very close score. After this first quarter, final 5, Emler is fouled by Kowali. And if I have that right, if that's Kowali, that's her 3rd foul.
It is.
That's huge, Laura, in the first quarter for Kowali to pick up 3 fouls. She just hit the bucket, the junior there. She averages 6 points, but it's not her points that they need, that's her defense they need.
And that's the gamble that Coach Dahl played. He played with a little fire there, and I think he got burned by leaving her in.
Maquoketa Valley a 2-point lead after the first quarter here in Class 2A in the state championship game.
We're the Nestricks. We have a 5-year-old son named Landon. Landon chose PBS more than us choosing it for him.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once he started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated. Everything that he learns from the show, he continues to teach others about it as well. And then his Christmas wish was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
He got to meet his hero, finally face-to-face in person in Washington, D.C.
So good to see you, buddy. How you been?
It kind of touches my heart to know that he cares and has that much passion about that.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
I look at everything that Landon has learned from PBS, and it's immeasurable. Everybody is big enough to do something. He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
(14-12) after 1 quarter from Wells Fargo Arena, Class 2A. Both of these teams, Laura, undefeated. Doesn't mean they haven't flirted with losses at the tournament this week. Both teams have trailed at some point. Some have made it a little closer than others. Chalk that up. Again, yes, Dike New Hartford was here last year and the year before, but not everybody on this team. And Maquoketa Valley, first time they've been to the tournament in quite some time, so a new experience, but a lot of pressure as Sophia Hoffman takes the first shot of the second quarter and misses.
Well, and I just think at some point you have to shake the nerves and shake what is going on the floor and the stage that you're on, and just get back to playing basketball. And I think we're going to make a change here. The stats monitor was wrong. Kowali only has 2 fouls, so that's good news because she's back out on the floor.
Yeah, because I was looking at the stats in the arena on the board and on the stats side. So yes, that would have been a huge cross your head, scratch your head moment.
But even still, with the 2 fouls, she has to play a little bit more cautiously. Maybe can't play with the reckless abandon that she sometimes plays with on the defensive side of things.
Couple of chances missed by the the Wildcats. Kowali back in, left elbow, 3, no good from the left wing. And Emler, and I tell you what, Ella Emler has been pretty big on the rebounds, 3 so far in this game.
Well, and we said it might come down to rebounding. Whoever does the best job on the glass, especially going after offensive rebounds, giving yourself extra opportunities and extra possessions, could win a ball game.
Well, and a travel called on Maquoketa Valley, and Emerson Wittenbaugh set to check back in. She, too, has 2 fouls. And when you talk about key rebounding, she'll pick them up if she needs to, but they need Emerson Wittenbaugh for her scoring. A lot of that offense runs from her when she comes up to the top of the free throw line.
And you take a key component out of a well-oiled machine, it doesn't run as well, and they need her in the lineup.
That was a pass into Gonzalez that Wittenbaugh had fronted and ticked that one away. And now the Wildcats. Oh, backdoor Wittenbaugh. Tucker thought Emerson was there. A couple of times against Nottoway Valley, there were some backdoor cuts, some lanes that were open, some things that the Maquoketa Valley coaches saw on tape that they felt on over pursuit. I mean, coaches look at a lot of tape. Their eyes get a little bug eyes. Scott Monk said, I go, how many hours you slept in the last couple of days? He goes, none. How many did you sleep the day before? None. My wife said to me this morning in my hotel room, why are your eyes so bloodshot? Well, I haven't slept.
Been watching game film. Want to have a good game plan, and at some point you do get a good game plan, and I think at some point you just have to put it to bed, and you just have to go, I have faith in my kids, and we're going to execute the way we know how to.
Wittenbaugh trapped in the corner, finds an open Chestnut. Emler for 3. Long shot, and Hoffman the long rebound. Up ahead, Kowali. Her momentum. She'll watch that one on replay and see, oh, I guess that foot did.
Yeah, she thinks she got the 1 foot down and maybe skidded on the other foot, but they had the numbers and they just couldn't make the connection to get the easy bucket.
Emler finds Tucker from the logo. Good. Tucker has 10 points, 8 in the first quarter, and now 2 here to extend it to a 4-point lead for Maquoketa Valley.
She really has had a nice start to this ball game and really is keeping her team in this game with her scoring. I know they're ahead, so it's not necessarily keeping her team in it, but she has helped them get the lead and maintain the lead.
Kennedy Roush comes to the rescue, and again, Tucker, right on cue, Laura. Another player following the script that we set up for him.
Yeah, Tucker averages right around 13 a game, so she's already knocking on the door of that in the first half.
Gonzalez's shot is off the mark. The Spaniard said she'd never played in front of a big crowd like this, and her club back in Spain, she's like, it was, you know, parents and some family and not the mega crowds. When she came down Monday night with the team to get an experience of Wells Fargo Arena, she was like, are you kidding me? This is the way we do it. Ella Emler says, this is the way I do it. 3 ball from Emler, and now it's a 21-12, 9-point advantage for the Wildcats. Timeout, Dyke New Hartford, and it's been, Emler's been picking up the pace here. I mean, that's only her first bucket, but she keeps shooting it. Eventually, it's going to fall. Scott Monk and his crew saying, hey, we're fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. But these two teams are not too far apart off Highway 20. Dyke is 112 miles from Des Moines. Delhi, where Maquoketa Valley is in Delaware County, 181 miles. Now, if you put the two together, no, I'm not going to say the halfway point is Jessup. I'm going to say it's Independence and Highway 151. Close.
Getting a little plug-in for your hometown?
Maybe. Maybe. But just saying, Jessup, we're familiar with both of these schools. We're very familiar with Dyke New Hartford as a volleyball school. But basketball is, as Coach Dahl said yesterday, says, hey, we've just done this one baby step. First we got to a regional final, then we got to the state tournament, then we got to the semifinals. Now they're in the finals. The pass into Peterson, she tips it, uses the volleyball skills to keep it alive. Hoffman, the runner, good.
That was a bucket they needed, and we have seen so much at this tournament after a coach calls a timeout, how a team responds and gets settled down and gets back to fundamentals.
That's the first field goal of the quarter. Their last field goal came at 21 seconds left. in the first, so huge, like you said, Laura.
That's a drought that you can't afford to have in a championship game.
Wildcats on the outside. And again, they have Wittenbaugh out of the game. So it's going to rely on Tucker flashing up. But right now, it looks like Maquoketa Valley's just content going around the outside.
I think unless they get something that's point blank, they will be content to just hold and settle for a good high percentage shot.
Paula Gonzalez whistled for the foul. As Tucker there on the drive, Gonzalez got behind her.
From the backside, anytime you lower those hands or dip those hands across a player that is driving, you're always going to get called for that foul.
Tucker hits the first and the second.
You're probably going to continue to see Wittenbaugh on the bench. If they can maintain this lead with her out and protect her with those 2 fouls, probably not going to see her till the 3rd quarter.
Hoffman drives, dishes, and the one coming as Ellery Knock. They've been trying to get into Knock. And she'll get a chance for the 3-point play with the clock stopped. Look at this dish.
Good dribble drive and was able to draw the defender. And Sabres just kind of got caught up a little too high, and it was a great dump down.
And the free throw is good by Knock. She now has 3 for the sophomore. Trainer led Dike New Hartford by 8 in the quarterfinal. West Branch led by 3 in the semifinal. So Dike New Hartford, I think the biggest lead was 9 to start, or midway through the second quarter. So it's been done. It's just a lot harder to do as you overanalyze things. Inside, and another foul on the entry pass. That time it's Peterson.
Got caught behind, and as that pass was coming in, tried to reach over into the passing lane and got too much contact.
Hoffman goes out, Emler to inbound with 2:04, 23-17. Maquoketa Valley in the lead.
Looking for some backdoor cuts. Oh, nice handoff.
Emler on the runner, won't go. Rebound, Dike New Hartford. That was Ellery Knock.
And Knock was in there changing that shot, altering it off the drive. It was a great setup, nice handoff, well designed, but Knock right there to block that away.
Gonzalez's shot misses, and it's going to stay with Dike New Hartford. I think Chestnut touched it with those long arms. Great defender. Knock. Throws it up, travels.
Defense is right there, and Sabres got over to stop the driving lane, and Knock tried to plow right through it and got the feet all mixed up and traveled.
1:21 to go before the intermission. It's been a game of defense. Emler, some nice offense, but that shot, I think she was expecting contact. It went really wide.
Yeah, I don't think she realized how open she was going to be after that spin move.
And a charge called on Ellery Knock as Chestnut steps up to take the charge. Back in is Landfair.
Going to get Peterson a little bit of rest. They have not really been able to get her any passes down low. They've not been able to get her set up in the post area where she can make any kind of moves or cause any kind of damage in the scoring column.
Now Maquoketa Valley looks like they might be content for a last shot of the half. Tucker and Emler. Both going to play on in college in different endeavors. Tucker softball at Nyack, Emler basketball at Coe. When you're playing at the next level, no matter where it is, you've got some athletic ability, and right now, both of these teams very athletic as we go to work with about 13 seconds to go. Emler way out front, drives, gets past her defender, puts it up, scores.
And you could see that Kowale had to give up on the dribble drive defending it.
Launched at half court, good if it goes, but it misses. And Maquoketa Valley extends their lead, 25-17 at the break. So Dike New Hartford only scores 5 points. And if my math's correct, Maquoketa Valley only scored 9. So Laura, single digits for both. That means A, what? Great defense, B, not so good offense, or C, a combination of both.
I'm going C, combination of both. I just think neither team could really get on track offensively. And was that a product of the defense that was being played? I think so, but I just think both of these teams may be a little tight the way they're playing, some nerves playing into this one, and they just don't have things going on the offensive side of things.
The latest class of Basketball Hall of Famers. It is estimated that over 700,000 girls have played basketball in Iowa high schools. Out of this impressive number, 241 girls spanning 102 years have been inducted into the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's Basketball Hall of Fame. Today, 3 more legends of the Hart Court have been selected as Basketball Hall of Famers. Let's meet this year's class. Presenting Hall of Fame awards is Craig Hill, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. Tonight's first inductees start at OABCIG High School from 2008 through 2012. Learning at the heels of her older cousin, Hall of Famer Kelsey Bolte, she developed into one of the premier players in the state while leading the Falcons to 3 state tournament appearances, including a Class 2A state championship in 2011. A 4-year starter, she finished her career with 1,873 points with 800 career rebounds. She was a 3-time first-team All-State selection, averaging over 20 points a game for her career. After averaging 18.1 and 8.6 rebounds as a sophomore, she averaged 21.2 points, 8.2 rebounds, and a state-best 5.2 steals a game, and leading OABCIG to an unbeaten season and the Class 2A state championship her junior year. She set a state tournament record by making 7 of 7 three-point attempts in a semifinal win over Monticello, and was named captain of the Class 2A all-tournament team. As a senior, she was named Miss Iowa Basketball after averaging 21.4 points and earning another appearance on the Class 2A all-tournament team after helping OABCIG to a runner-up finish in Class 2A. She signed to play college basketball with Northern Iowa, only to have injuries derail her basketball career midway through her redshirt freshman season. After earning her degree at Northern Iowa, she now lives in Denver, Colorado, and is working toward her doctorate in clinical psychology. Let's welcome a familiar face back to Wells Fargo Arena from OABCIG Hall of Famer Jessie Pauley. Hard work, discipline, and drive were the trademarks that made our final inductee become one of the top high school basketball players in the state, and later one of the greatest players to ever wear a University of Iowa basketball uniform. She was a 3-time first-team All-State selection at Iowa City West High School. She helped the Trojans reach the state tournament 3 times, with 2 trips to the Class 4A finals while being selected to 2 all-tournament teams. She was a part of Iowa City West's 2012 squad that captured the Class 4A championship, averaging 16.4 points a game. As a senior, her numbers jumped to a state-best 26.3 points a game while averaging 7.7 rebounds with another trip to the state tournament, where she scored 31 points in a first-round defeat. She finished her career with 1,571 career points while shooting 57.7% from the field for her career, and was named Miss Iowa Basketball for 2013. Her talents landed her at the University of Iowa, where she blossomed into one of the steadiest players in the Big Ten. Her freshman year saw her selected to the Big Ten All-Freshman team, averaging 13.1 points and 6.2 rebounds a game. Her stat lines and her accolades continued to accumulate with each season, as she was named second team All-Big Ten her sophomore and junior seasons. As a senior, she scored 16.8 points a game and was named first team All-Big Ten.
Her prowess in the classroom enabled her to be named First-Team Academic All-American and Academic All-American of the Year twice. She was named as the University of Iowa's Female Athlete of the Year for the 2016-17 school year. When her career came to an end, she was the Hawkeyes' career scoring leader with 2,102 points. She now works in Midtown Manhattan as an investment banking analyst at Barclays. Let's welcome the first Iowa City West Trojan into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Hall of Famer Ali Disterhoff. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the IGHSAU Basketball Hall of Fame Class of 2021 from OABCIG, Jesse Pauley, and from Iowa City West, Ali Disterhoff. Also part of this year's class, but unable to be in attendance today, was Kathleen Olson of Waukee. Congratulations.
Congratulations to those inductees, but let's now meet the 50-year team, the honor team of this year, as we look back at a piece of history.
The 1971 state tournament centered around two teams, two-time defending champion Mighty Montezuma and their state record 88-game winning streak, along with a powerful Mediapolis team. Flying under the radar was 6th-ranked Farragut, who ended up stealing the show and the state championship.
5-point lead for Mediapolis. Wishmeyer now with 10 points. She's the leading scorer in the tournament with 147 points in 3 games, averaging about 50 a game, highlighted by 71 points against Montezuma. Gruber hits it for Farragut. And a 3-point ball game again, 15-12.
The Farragut squad, which was nicknamed the Adettes, won their state opener with a 67-37 rout of Hampton in the first round. Farragut had to rally in the quarterfinals, erasing a 9-point deficit to hold off Elkhorn Kimballton 57-55. The Adettes advanced to the championship game with a 65-52 victory over West Marshall.
And Janelle Gruber sees an opening. The drive-in layup shot, good. They come storming back here. Mediapolis 21, and we have a ball game.
Farragut would meet Mediapolis in the state title game. Mediapolis ended Montezuma's 2-year reign with a thrilling overtime victory and were the prohibitive favorites going into the game. However, Farragut coach Leon Plummer devised a game plan that flummoxed the Bullets. Farragut used a 6-0 run to take a 34-31 lead late in the first half.
Shot is partly blocked by Barb Young. Rebound is picked off by Penny Phillips. Terry Brannard gets it across the line. Bonnie Bickett underneath to Albright. Her shot good. And for the first time, Farragut takes the lead, 32-31. And the Farragut crowd is going absolutely wild. Barb Wishmeyer out to Mary Schulte. Top of the circle, Schulte shot, no good, and Barb Young has the rebound. In forecourt, Farragut Adettes with a 1-point lead and the ball. Gruber. Bonnie Bickett to Gruber again. Albright. Bonnie Bickett. Her shot is good. And Farragut now has taken a 3-point lead, 34-31. Timeout is called by Mediapolis with a score 34-31 in favor of Farragut.
And the Adettes never trailed after that, posting a 67-60 victory to win the 1971 state championship.
Bickett. Gruber. Back to Bickett again. Albright. Gruber. Puts it through the hoop.
Janelle Gruber led Farragut with 26 points, while Becky Albright scored 24 and Bonnie Bickett added 17. The Adette guard court of Hall of Famer Terry Brannon, Janice Pierce, and Penny Phillips, along with Tanya Bopp and Barb Young, were all masterful in keeping Mediapolis's high-scoring forward court in check.
Ball away from Young to score, 67-60. The cadence count, 2 seconds, 1 second. There's the end of the ball game, and Farragut is the new state champion. Coming out of Southwest Iowa, going completely against the odds to win it, 67-60. The final score, and Farragut is the new state champion.
While they can't be with us in person this week to celebrate the 50th anniversary of their state championship, we'd still like to congratulate our 2021 honor team the Adettes from Farragut.
Always good to see the six-player highlights. Maquoketa Valley leads Dike New Hartford 25-17. We're at halftime, and it's also time to look back at 2021 as the Iowa Girls High School Basketball Championships marks 1 year since a global pandemic changed our daily lives. And it's been a year of perseverance for Iowa girls as they found both community and a collective mission in the face of adversity.
Here's Siebers to Morenz. And the lead and the championship for Newell Fonda.
That is a comeback for the ages. What a game.
As the lights went down on the 2020 Iowa girls basketball season, nobody had any idea what lay ahead.
Coronavirus infections have passed the 500,000 mark worldwide.
3.3 million Americans filed for unemployment benefits in the last week alone.
Open up your trunk, thank you.
With much of the country in quarantine, Iowans came to terms with a global pandemic. Decision makers were faced with difficult choices, including the executive director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, Gene Berger.
Remember, this is all new. We have no playbook. You're just operating sort of in this vacuum. Schools are shut down. Our sports are shut down. Our kids are not working with coaches. We made the decision not to have any of our spring sports.
When Coach had to call that meeting and say, sorry, ladies, there's no season, what was your emotion?
I look back on it now and I just wish that I spent like 5 more minutes on the field, like just taking it all in, like taking deep breaths, like, wow, this was my last time. I definitely wish that I had just one more moment, like on the field with my best friends.
The season kept getting pushed back and delayed. Pitchers and catchers knew that we couldn't be taking this time off. So we all found like open field somewhere wherever we could go to pitch together and catch together.
By summer 2020, COVID-19 was a fact of life. The IGHSAU chose to let each district decide for themselves whether or not to participate in summer sports.
A softball coach said, just tell us what we need to do and we'll do it. We'll do anything you want us to do so we can play. And they did.
We are on the way to a beautiful evening in Fort Dodge.
State championship is #1 goal when you're in a sport. That's everyone's goal. And so we kind of kept that in the back of our mind.
Cheyenne Barron, she's a .507 hitter.
Take our temperature before each practice, before each game.
To deep left. Home
run! Had to sanitize all of our equipment. We had our own bats and our own helmets. And during games, we had to take the ball into the dugout with us instead of leaving it at the pitcher's mound.
We weren't able to stay in the dorms. If we had a regular season, we would have stayed in the dorms there. And so we drove back every day, like 2.5 hours every day, twice.
We learned so much. So we took that into our fall championships and into volleyball especially.
Keep a safe distance away, always sanitizing balls, sanitizing hands, not sharing really any equipment at all.
With all the crazy going on in the world, like we knew we had volleyball to always just play and rely on that. So we wanted to take advantage of it, and that's what we were going to do. We're just going to play, compete, have fun.
If this is what we have to do, especially for like the seniors like Fiona and I, this is our last chance to play, and because of these circumstances, like we're just going to have to do what we have to do.
State championship for Clarksville, 5th time's a charm.
I think it is really important to note that we got cut short of some games and some practices. We had to like work on our own and do our own thing on our own to keep at it and to still improve every single day.
As the seasons changed, so did case counts. With winter approaching, Iowans were reminded that nothing in 2020, least of all a schedule, is guaranteed.
When you get the news that there's been a stoppage and we're going virtual before we were able to play our first game, then you have another stoppage for the holiday break. And we get shut down with COVID for 10 days.
Having to watch other teams play, there's a perspective that you don't get by playing every night. And so they're glad at the opportunity to play it, even if it's to practice for one night. And so they're not taking anything for granted at this point.
That research on mental health, that really struck a chord with me about what kids had been giving up.
Losing something that you're that passionate about affects a lot.
Honestly, for me, I kind of just didn't think about that we were in a pandemic. I was just focused in the moment because you're never going to get that back. So I didn't want to hold back any of the energy or any of that.
He's given up some hits, but
The best part of it was just being able to go out there and compete and forget about what was all going on around us. We were all just like banding together to support each other. Just being able to get out of the house and like see sports.
and that smile says it all.
Everyone just seemed so excited.
Great job, Tyler Bruniger, on that piece. A lot of good memories there, Laura. And let's take a look at some of the first half highlights, as it has been a lot of defense. If we take a quick look at some of those statistics, Dike New Hartford's only shooting 29%, whereas Maquoketa Valley is at 48%. Taylor Kowali with a 3 there. And there is Taya Tucker, who's had a huge first half with 14 points. Sophia Hoffman, she's been big. 6 points, leading score for Dike New Hartford. And then in transition, Emler hits a couple of buckets. Stat-wise, Laura, as we mentioned, core shooting is a lot to overcome. But look at that rebound difference, 18-6.
That was the one thing that jumped out at me on the first half statistics were the rebounding numbers, and we talked about it. We said the game is going to be won on the boards, and right now Maquoketa Valley has the upper hand in that category.
And one other note that was put on there, second half points, or second chance points. Maquoketa Valley 10, Dike New Hartford 0. So let's see how that unfolds as we begin quarter number 3, 25-17 in this Class 2A championship game from Wells Fargo Arena, alongside Lauren Leonard. I'm Paul Yeager, glad to have you here on this Saturday afternoon of championship basketball. 4 games today as Emerson Wittenbaugh is back in. Now the 3, and connecting is Carissa Sabers. Her first points of the game come, and that could set a tone for the rest of this half.
It could, and everything was concentrated in the paint. And then they finally were able to kick it outside, and that's one of the first times we've seen a clean look and a good pass inside to Peterson, and I think that may set the tone for Dike New Hartford.
Peterson averages 14 a game, well under that with 3 now on that bucket. Wittenbaugh now back to Sabers, who just hit that 3. Sabers will try again. Different result this time, but guess who got the rebound? Taya Tucker.
Another opportunity, and that, again, going to the offensive glass, saving the possession, giving your team another chance to score.
I think that's Tucker's 10th rebound of this game. There she goes in, and that shot no good. Gonzalez the rebound. So, Dike New Hartford holds serve. Now they just have to cut into this 9-point lead. Kowali. Gonzalez. 8-footer misses. And loose ball grabbed by one of the 5 white shirts that were around the basketball.
They are really just doing a great job of boxing out, being in the right spot, moving those feet, hustling after loose balls.
Crowd thought maybe there was a travel on that last play.
They're continuing to try to enter the ball right at the free throw line against this zone and then kicking it back out.
Tucker, backdoor, Wittenbaugh on the block, kicks it out. Tucker, short. It'll go out of bounds. You know, Tucker and Wittenbaugh kind of talked about some of the early morning practices that they'd had, the 7-Up Club that they had done, 15 minutes of ball handling, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of shooting, rebounding, all sorts of things. They had some games. But the most important thing is they got a T-shirt out of the deal.
Well, that's what Coach said. But, yeah, I love the 7-Up Club. They all get together. There's about 30 kids that get together in the morning and work out. And during the break and during COVID, they did it via Zoom. And they all got up and got together via Zoom and continued their workouts. And that's dedication.
And accountability with each other. Dyke New Hartford with the basketball. There is a door open here. Kowali's shot, front iron, rebound, put back, 2 free throws coming for Peyton Peterson.
Peyton Peterson has such great, strong hands, able to go up and grab that ball. And Coach Dahl said she could be a tight end on the football team with those strong hands, and throw it to her and she will go after it and go get it anywhere you put that ball. And that's why I think they need to be able to try to get her more touches down low.
Free throw. Scoots in. The second one is good. Tight end, blocker, hitter, whatever the sport, I think she could probably play. Good athletic family. Her mother, Bobby, the head volleyball coach at the University of Northern Iowa. Her sisters, her other twin sisters, she's a twin. Not too bad in volleyball either.
No, the 2 older twins, one I believe is playing at Northern Iowa, one is playing at Texas volleyball. And the younger ones here are competing for a state championship.
And they're freshmen, so they're gonna play a lot, but they are playing like it matters a lot right now. Too strong was knocked shot, and there's gonna be a push. So a foul on Dyke New Hartford there, and I think it was Kowali. So that now, I believe, is her 3rd foul.
And that takes a very important part of their defense out of the lineup. She kind of spearheads the defense, calls the defense, leads them, get them into the spots where they need to be.
28-21, 4 minutes to go. Chestnut, 2.
Good ball fake, and didn't panic when she got the ball down there, showed the ball, got the defender up in the air, and went right back up.
Gonzalez kicks. Lots of blue jerseys. It looks like Maquoketa Valley collapsing well on whoever has the basketball on the down low block. Driving in, not getting the runner to go was Hoffman. And again, another rebound for Maquoketa Valley.
They have just owned the boards in this ball game.
Emler with it. Stolen away Landfair. They do not have numbers. Landfair goes, but she's going to get fouled and have a chance to shoot 2 with the clock stopped. Emler picks up the foul. On the steal here, Laura, just, you have to take advantage. I mean, you have to take it at the team right now if you're Dyke New Hartford, right?
Yeah, you have to take advantage of everything that you get. If you can turn them over, if you can get a steal, get the stop on the offensive end, and you've got to get down to your end, and you've got to start connecting on shots.
Landfair missed the second, but they're going to have a foul on the rebound, and I think it's going to be on Maquoketa Valley. Landfair again, right place, right time.
She knew that free throw was coming off the rim, and she went and battled for it and was able to draw a foul on Maquoketa Valley and keep the possession.
Sabres out, Roush back in. 30-22, 3:12 to go. Gonzalez set up 3, no. Wittenbaugh had it, she had position, but I think Landfair may have helped send that ball out of bounds.
Who's in there again, and she's fired up, and she is really trying to provide the spark for her team.
Up top, Gonzalez. Peterson has position for a moment, but now she's got to get out of the lane. Landfair 3, no one was there for the rebound, and it was well short. Wildcats by 8, Laura.
And there's the two of the three-headed monster out there up top with Kuali and Landfair, trying to force Maquoketa Valley into a turnover.
No rush. There's just not been a ton of offense in this 2A field this year. The highest point total in the tournament was 57 for Dike New Hartford against West Branch. The second was 53, the third was 51. So we're not even, we're short of those totals. We're gonna see, it might be first one to 40 as a tip out goes to Maquoketa Valley.
Yeah, it's just been a struggle for both teams.
Chestnut and one.
They finally were able to get her open on the baseline, and she powered through a couple of defenders and got the glass, and that's gonna get them fired up.
Ellery knocked the foul, her second. Chestnut, 8 points, 3 boards. Now make it 9 points. Back to an 11-point lead. Timeout, Dike New Hartford. Bruce Dahl says, all right, all right. We just need some type of spark here. And we'll discuss strategy amongst ourselves. You do the same. We're back in a moment.
Are you a member of an organization or part of a school looking for engaging free resources to use with youth? Iowa PBS is more than a television station. We have access to thousands of research-based learning assets. Our highly trained staff, many former educators, are ready and waiting to come meet your educational needs at no charge. Iowa PBS participates in STEM festivals, math events, and literacy nights. We provide professional development to formal educators and partner with families and informal educators to get relevant resources in the hands of learners to encourage engagement and retention. Contact Educational Services to find out how Iowa PBS can support learners of all ages.
The Maquoketa Valley fans feeling good. The Wolverine fans kind of a little nervous right now. They're down 11. Dike New Hartford shot around today at Dowling Catholic. Yesterday was at Marshalltown. Last week, before the tournament, at BCLUW, and Bruce Dahl said he got a chance to go look at the Denise Long trophy that Union Witten had won, and he said it got a little emotional.
Yeah, he said he got chills, and listening to him tell that story gave me chills, because you know the history behind that, and to be able to go look at that trophy and know the meaning behind it and have somebody get that emotional about it, you just got to love that, and that's what girls basketball is all about, and this state tournament is all about.
Hard to believe as the foul is on Maquoketa Valley here on the entry pass. The 50-year team of Denise Long wasn't that long ago. We're past that already. Hard to believe. But, again, more of that celebrating the past going on in this tournament as Hoffman drives. So now, maybe Dike New Hartford says, all right, we just have to attack, and we're going to try to get to the free throw line as the team fouls start to kind of pick up just a little bit for Maquoketa Valley.
They have done a good job of working the ball inside, not relying on that outside game here in the third quarter. They have gone into the middle and into the paint. They've got to knock down free throws.
Hoffman misses. So if you're going to employ that strategy, you got to make half of it work.
And they are a 58% shooting free throw team, so they've got to make all 58% and more of those when they step to the line.
Gonzalez will be whistled for the foul in the entry to Wittenbaugh. And you mentioned it about an hour ago, Laura, talking about the team goals that the Dike New Hartford set, and that was to shoot free throws better. But as this team evolved, Coach Dahl didn't really know what he had. he had some freshmen and sophomores, and there's Emler for 3, no good. Has the foreign exchange student, Paula Gonzalez, who has the Euro step that's been truly a European player step that we've seen a couple times. Not yet today, as she's going to drive. Let's see if she does it there, kind of. As Kawali connects.
Yeah, that was more of the European style, drive the baseline and that jump pass back out to the perimeter shooter, and Kawali with a big shot.
Wittenbaugh pulls up her dribble. And now we're seeing this Wolverine defense come out on the Wildcats as we approach 30 seconds yet to go here in the third quarter, and we're going to have a whistle. Emler is going to get fouled by Kawali. And that'll be her third foul. I'm going to get this foul thing right today. Knock has 3, Kawali 3, Gonzalez 2, Peterson 2.
Well, they're flirting with a little foul trouble either way, and they've got to be smart about it because they can't afford to lose some of their key defenders.
Emler with it out front, under 10. Wittenbaugh at the 3-point line. 5 seconds, catch and shoot, no good. Rebound for the Wolverines, and they'll just hold it and not take a chance. We have 8 minutes standing between one team and a trophy. Back in a moment.
PBS is celebrating the 25th anniversary of Ken Burns' brilliant film, The Civil War, with a complete frame-by-frame restoration from the original negative. It's truly glorious to look at. We talked with Ken Burns himself about what made it the most successful documentary series in broadcast history. Please join me, Sam Waterston, for this tribute to Ken Burns, The Civil War.
Tuesday evening at 7 on Iowa PBS.
Maquoketa Valley's never won a state title. The town of Dike, the school of Dike, won the 6th player title back in 1988, but not Dike, New Hartford. So someone is going home with the first place trophy for the first time. State first time title game appearance for both of these schools. What's it going to take for the underdog right now, the one chasing Laura, Dike New Hartford, to take #1 home?
Again, rely on their defense. I think they need to get a few more paint touches into Peterson, and she's got to work to get herself open. She's allowing the defense to dictate where she goes on the floor, but if you get shots from the perimeter like that, I guess you don't need to set up on the inside.
Kawali hits the 3, and it's back within 5. Stolen away, Kawali on the breakaway. He somehow wills that basketball back, and all of a sudden, the Wolverines are within 3, and they're almost going to get a steal again on Emler.
Boy, she was right there, too, and in the passing lane, it just swiped at it, couldn't get it. Look at those hands. Look at her digging.
For Maquoketa Valley, what's their key, Laura?
I think they need to be patient. They need to continue to run their offense the way they have and see if they can take care of the basketball.
Well, and that gets away from them, too. Hoffman on the breakaway is fouled. I don't know what Bruce Dahl said to these girls at the quarter, but it apparently has worked.
Well, I think he probably said, let's relax. We've got 8 minutes left. Let's play our style of basketball, and let's go win a title.
As Wittenbaugh picks up her first foul, or third foul.
And he might have said, let's make some free throws.
Maybe. Hoffman missed them both. So back within 3, held ball. Maquoketa Valley with 7:03 get to go the length of the court. Wittenbaugh gets it in and to the blue jersey. Hoffman shot no good. Peterson the rebound and the putback. Peyton Peterson now with 7, and they're within 1.
showing this different look, really causing problems for Maquoketa Valley, really turning up the heat in the backcourt.
Maybe that it's not the first time we've seen a team all of a sudden say, you know, let's try a different defensive look. And in fact, that's what Maquoketa Valley did against Nottoway Valley in the semifinal. Put out a different defensive look. And now Mac Valley's having the script flipped on them. There's another look at Peterson with her bucket, rebound.
And a good job going to the offensive glass, and that's something that they have not done. And they're getting out rebounded by 10, but they have done a good job of getting to the offensive glass. They have 6 offensive rebounds, and they have been able to get some putbacks. And again, I'm just going to harp on it. We said rebounding is going to be a huge key in this ball game.
And let's not forget fouls either, and free throws. So imagine that, the fundamentals.
Yeah, and who likes fundamentals?
Oh, what a drive by Emler from the left side.
What a great drive and a great take.
Kowali, thought about it, kicks it out, Gonzalez. Kowali wants it again, Hoffman. Inside to a cutting Ellery knock. And the Wolverines are back within 1. Here comes that pressure.
Great ball rotation and great movement without the basketball.
Wittenbaugh breaks it, kicks it. Emler, 3. Long rebound. Corralled by the Wolverines. Gonzalez cuts it, throws it. 3, good! Ellery knock! Oh! And for the first time since the first quarter, Dike New Hartford has the lead back. 37-35. What a turn of just 4 minutes.
And that's all due to defense. That defense has turned the momentum and turned the tide for Dike New Hartford. They're able to get it out to Knock, who barely ripples the net.
Knock is a 27% shooter from 3. The team is only 29% coming into the tournament. Dike New Hartford's not known for shooting the 3s, Laura, but here they are hitting a couple of big ones.
No, they knocked down several big ones, and that has given them the momentum. And you talked about fundamentals, and I said, who likes fundamentals? Well, it's Scott Monk, and he likes his team to be fundamentally sound, and that was something that they've relied upon. He said, we just go back to the fundamentals, and we make sure these kids are doing the things right, boxing out the right way, setting screens the right way, using the glass when you shoot that mid-range jumper. And so I think now for these next 5.5 minutes, they got to get back to fundamentals.
Well, one of the keys that Coach talks about, he says limit turnovers, rebound, and not get caught up in the moment. You could say that that is one of the things right now. This is a big moment. Emler drives and is quickly collapsed upon. Now Chestnut. Not many moments bigger than a state championship game.
No, not at all, and especially in the fourth quarter with about 5 minutes to go.
They want to be very disciplined with the basketball, and for the majority of the day they have. And it's going to go out of bounds. It'll stay with Maquoketa Valley. 5:04. Dike New Hartford by 2. Who's the pressure on right now?
I think right now I kind of feel like it's on Maquoketa Valley. I think they feel like they need to score, and they're putting the pressure on themselves. They still got a lot of time. There's 4 minutes, over 4 minutes left in this ball game, and it's a 2-point game. So got to take a deep breath here. Don't put that pressure on yourself, and continue to find good high percentage shots.
It's been almost 2 minutes since the last field goal for Maquoketa Valley, and it's going to be, I think that was a held ball.
She was on the end line.
Oh, okay, she was on the end line.
Yeah.
And Maquoketa Valley enlists some pressure. The runner down to Peterson. They're going to whistle for a travel, I think. Yep. Kind of shuffled those feet just a little bit.
And that's a set play that they run. We haven't seen a lot in this ball game where they'll drive it down, then they just give that little floater pass down to Peterson.
Ella Emler, the future Kohawk. Kylie Chestnut. Emler loses it, and a couple of bodies hit the floor. Peterson there to collect, and now Dyke New Hartford can expand on this 2-point lead again.
They've had several opportunities to expand the lead and haven't been able to do it.
Up front, Taya Tucker the foul. Camille Landfair comes back in, and Taylor Kowali and her 11 points sit out, and it won't be for very long. Dyke New Hartford in the bonus now. Free throw from Gonzalez is missing. There were 3 Wildcats, and it went off all 3 of them out of bounds. Oh. You take it, you take it. No. Oh, that is the frustrating spot. Cutting and fouled on the way to the basket, and the shot is Ellery Knock.
One of those baseline out-of-bounds plays that you practice and practice and practice, and then when it comes time and you need to use it, they ran it perfectly. Couldn't get the shot to fall, but gets to the free throw line.
Boy, and the free throw challenges continue for Dyke New Hartford, 46% for the game.
And as we get further into this ball game and closer to the end of the ball game, that could be a strategy of Maquoketa Valley.
Second one is good for Hoffman. She now has 7. That allows some pressure to get set up, but it doesn't take Maquoketa Valley very long. Nice runner by Emler, and she'll get a chance at some free throws.
Landfair's going to pick up that foul. She was right in her hip pocket the entire way.
So look at the face of Ella Emler right there. You think they're up or down? Can you tell?
Not really.
And that's what Coach says. He goes, I can't tell if we're up 40, down 40. She just has the same demeanor. But you've seen big players with, you know, they might make a big play and fire it up. It's like, okay, she's just the same. Emler hits the shot. She now has 8. Still Dyke New Hartford by 2, 38-36, 3:50 to play. Back over to Taylor Kowali. And let's see if Dyke New Hartford still attacks. Got a lot of game to play. 3 on the way. Gonzalez finally gets one, a second one to fall. She's been shooting and shooting and shooting. She now has 6.
In my head, I'm going, don't shoot that, bring it back out, and she nailed it.
That's one of those, no, 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 yes!
That is a big bucket.
Dyke New Hartford by 5. What do the Wildcats have left in the tank?
And they've got time. They don't have to force anything.
Emler's 3 is no good, and Peterson grabs hold. And now it looks like Mac Valley is trying to foul. Gonzalez back to Kowali.
Trying to get a quick steal if they could and go the other way, and now they're content to sit back and play a little defense. Eventually they're going to have to come out and try to lengthen this game with some fouls.
Well, if you're Maquoketa Valley, you don't want to foul Kowali if you can. She's the 71% shooter. Ellery Knox 72, Hoffman 68, and who gets fouled but Sophia Hoffman. Hoffman on the day is 0 of 4. So much for percentages at the free throw line for 6 points. Actually 7. And it'll stay at 7. So strategy works.
Well, knowing that a team is right under 60% from the line for the season, your percentages are with you in a situation like this, because then you add in the fact that there's some nerves, there's some tension, and the state championship's on the line. You figure those shooters are going to be a little bit more tight than what they already are when they step to the free throw line.
Tucker and Peterson lock up for a held ball. It'll go back to Dike New Hartford at 2:11. Wolverines by 5 into Hoffman. She dribbles around and then is fouled by Tucker.
And now they're in the double bonus. And you could see as Hoffman got fouled, she kind of looked up to the sky and thought, okay, they're fouling me for a reason. I haven't been able to knock shots down. So maybe a little self-talk here. She'll be able to calm down and knock down a couple for Dike New Hartford.
First one, no good. A couple of these players talked about how they just, like Ella Emler says, I believe every time I shoot the ball, it's going in. And so much of sports is mental, as both of those free throws are no good. Maquoketa Valley with the basketball, only down 5, 2 minutes to play. Lots of basketball yet to be played. It isn't going to be easy, though. Emler, the 8-footer. Oh, she'll get 2. Emler. So we have the 4th foul called. And I don't know if that went on Knock or Peterson. It went on Knock, so she now has 4. Tucker goes out. Emler, who wants to study business next year, she had 20 points and 9 in the game-winning free throws against Nottoway Valley.
You can hear Coach in the background saying, go get her, every time Hoffman touches the ball.
And Emler commits the foul. She is one that has fouls to give. Sabres has 4, Tucker has 4, Wittenbaugh 3. And really, Maquoketa Valley for a while hadn't put any substitutes into the ball game. As again, a free throw is missed. Tucker comes back in, and Kennedy Roush goes back out. Roush held scoreless, had a couple of big threes earlier in this game, including against MFL, to get on the tournament trail. So they might need her eventually, and the loose ball goes right back to Dike New Hartford and Taylor Kowali.
And now you have to just foul whomever. You've got to get out there and stop the clock. That ball came off the front of the rim, and it came off so quick that it bounced off about 3 different hands before it went into Kowali's hands.
Kowali misses. Kowali is, as you can tell, a little smaller player, plays intense defense, makes ball handlers nervous. Coach calls her, you know what little dogs are like around big horses? They get nervous. There, Kowali shakes the nerves, hits the free throw, and gets her 12th point. Who's nervous now? 42-37, Dike New Hartford with the lead, ties their biggest of the game with 1:15, and it's Emler has to chase the loose one down, and there's a foul way out front on Taylor Kowali. And she just picked up foul number 4.
Trying to go for a steal, and you asked who's nervous now. Well, I think it is Maquoketa right now because they don't seem to be on the same page with one another.
Emler hits the first free throw. Roush will check in for the shooter. Oh no, they're gonna say now she's checking in for Sabres. I'm like, I wouldn't take Emler out, but I'm not coaching. Emler hits a pair. Maquoketa Valley takes their 3rd timeout, and in that huddle, Laura, they are going to look at those seniors of Emler, Wittenbaugh, and Tucker, and right now would be the time they're asking their former teammate, Anna Nefsker, who died in 8th grade in an ATV crash. She would have been a senior this year. Those girls were all close with Anna. During homecoming this year, the senior class in Maquoketa Valley voted to honor Anna the Queen and Tag Hunt the King, another classmate that passed away. And every game, Nefsker is in the book. She's on the score sheet if you're following along. Number 22, her parents have been presented a jersey. A couple of the players have tattoos, a third one going to get it. Basketball sometimes, Laura, is more about life, but this is a huge life moment right now.
It is, and you know, talking about that situation, Coach Monk said, these players have taught the whole community how to deal with this and how they've dealt with it with such class and such grace that they have taught the community how to handle situations like this. And they said, you know, we played with her, now we play for her.
Well, and Coach also says you can't control the ball going in the hoop, but we can control how hard we play. Let's see how hard they play defense right here, down 3. Gonzalez gets it away, and we have nearly a turnover, but it's still not safe for the Wolverines as Knock is fouled. Looks like Kennedy Roush has whistled there. A lot of life moments taught, and you know, one of the hardest things to see are the girls that come into the locker room after the game or into the post-game media area and in tears, and you got to just tell them, you know how many girls would love to be in your position right now? How many would like to be in a state championship game that's separated by only 3 points with 1:03 to play?
Everybody would. Everybody that suits up, laces up the sneakers, their goal is to be at Wells Fargo to be able to play in the state tournament.
Knock the second free throw. Good. Emler with it. Wittenbaugh only 2 points in this contest. Emler 10. It's been Taya Tucker and her 14. Let's see who the Wildcats try to design a play. They go backdoor. Emler on the cut, and it's thrown into 2 blue jerseys, and we have a held ball. And it'll stay with the Wildcats.
It was open, but only for a split second. She tried to thread the needle, but it closed very quickly.
Tipped again. Peterson collects, and now Dyke New Hartford with 40 seconds. They're just going to hold to get fouled. Peterson, I think, was the one who was fouled and will go to the line. And it looks like Taylor Kowali says, you've got this.
That is her good personal foul.
Fouling out is Carissa Sabers.
You know, just looking up and down this lineup for Dyke New Hartford, not a lot of seniors on this team, and they're going to graduate Paula Gonzalez, who's a foreign exchange student, came over from Spain and has been a big part of this team, and also a couple seniors, Abby and Addie Sohn, who Coach Dahl says have been great leaders for this team all year.
And on the missed free throw, the rebound, there is a foul. It'll stay with Dyke New Hartford. Both of the Sohn sisters have affixed the name Dyke New Hartford to the bracket after each game, as it's a steal by Roush, and the layup won't go, and there for the rebound again is Dyke New Hartford as we get under 30 seconds. We have a whistle, and it's a timeout, Wolverines. All right, still 4 points. You're going to force Dyke now to inbound the basketball, 3/4 of the court to go. Fouling has seemed to have worked. You just haven't been able to convert on the other end. Do you keep doing that strategy, Laura?
You have to. You've got to stop the clock, and you've got to bank on the fact that they have really struggled from the free throw line. They have just, what are they, 9 of 25 from the free throw line, and they have been put there quite a bit here over the last 4 or 5 minutes. And so, yes, you go with the same strategy because it will lengthen the game. It stops the clock. If you can pull that rebound and get to the other end and score quickly, you are going to be able to either call a timeout or, again, foul them, put them on the line, and just rinse and repeat.
The Wolverines break the huddle. frankly, you could maybe make an argument that Dike New Hartford is a year early or two, or just getting ready for one heck of a run in 2A.
Yeah, I think they're just getting ready for a big run.
All right. Nearly a turnover, but before Knock can get rid of it, she's fouled. But more of that precious commodity time goes off the clock. Knock the free throw. Good.
And if this team is going to make a run next year and maybe the year after that, I think the one thing that they will go back and look upon is free throw shooting. And that's something I think would be a goal. Even if they didn't want to set goals, that might be a goal for them for next year.
Emler's three is short. Rebound again for Dike New Hartford as Peterson is tied up by Tucker. Maquoketa Valley had an 11-point lead. 7:36 mark in the third quarter, but since then it has been pretty much all Wolverines as Wittenbaugh hits with 6.7. Don't go anywhere yet. This free throw goes in, you're still within 3.
And there's still a fair amount of time.
Free throw good, cool as a cucumber. Timeout on the floor. Dike New Hartford with 1 timeout left. Maquoketa Valley down to their last timeout.
You know, in that situation, you just want to go ahead and let them score because the clock will continue to run as the ball comes through the hoop. If they would have taken it out of bounds, there would have been 5 seconds, 4 seconds left, and you could have just stood out of bounds with the basketball. But challenged the shot, and so now they put themselves into a position where they're going to get fouled right away. They're going to have to knock down a couple of free throws, and Maquoketa Valley could have an opportunity to try to go length of the floor and tie it up.
So if you're Dike New Hartford, do you throw the ball deep? Do you get it inbounded to your best free throw shooter, but run the risk of a possible mishandling of the ball and maybe it gets loose?
I think you try to go deep. If you have somebody on this team that can throw that deep pass, I think you maybe look at that as a strategy and see how many people they bring into the backcourt here.
Knock is going to inbound it from the A on the floor of Arena. She can move freely on the basket, gets it in, and quickly fouled is Sophia Hoffman. And she'll walk the length of the court to shoot 2. Well,
one of her teammates went up to her and said, "You can do this," and you could see it was an emphatic hand slap. And she's ready to go. You can see it in her eyes.
She's one of the soccer players that Dike New Hartford has. And she hits the basketball shot now for 8. Ask Coach Dahl, what do you think of those soccer players? He goes, "Oh, I love them. They just know how to split defenses and they're aggressive." And now there's a timeout on the floor. Dike New Hartford calls their final timeout. They're up by 4, so the playbook's pretty wide open here.
Yeah, it is pretty wide open, and you can certainly figure out what you need to do depending on make or miss here. But it is a situation now. It's going to be tough for them to even come back.
Got to go to the length of the court in under 6.
Not going to leave a whole lot of time, even if they do get a bucket, because you can just hold it after the ball goes through the hoop. You can stand out of bounds and let the time expire.
Well, Maquoketa Valley was undefeated at the Christmas break, Laura. They changed their defensive strategy because they just didn't like what was happening. Today, their defensive strategy allows 46 points. They just couldn't quite get the offense to go.
And that was the key. They struggled offensively. Their defense kept them in the ball game. They just couldn't hit shots, and timely shots they couldn't knock down.
Second free throw is good for Hoffman. And Emler will get it in. Launch the three at the buzzer. No good. And Dike New Hartford, for the first time in school history, are state champions in basketball here in 2021.
For Dike New Hartford, a 22-point outburst in the fourth quarter. And it was a grind the entire way for both of these teams. But they came out with a renewed sense of energy and a different purpose in that fourth quarter and held Maquoketa Valley to 9 points. Huge fourth quarter won it for them.
Maquoketa Valley goes 14, 11, 8, and 9 for scoring each quarter. Dike New Hartford 12, 5, 8, 22. Lots of emotion. Tough way to see the season end. But for Dike New Hartford, they get to put on the pink shirts.
Class 2A All-Tournament Team. Presenting the awards is Craig Hill, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. And joining him are Governor Kim Reynolds and members of the IGH-SAU Board of Directors, Ron Fodness, Jim Beamer, Travis Fleshner, Russ Adams, and Greg Ebling. Presenting the Class 2A All-Tournament Team. From Maquoketa Valley, Taya Tucker. From Dike New Hartford, Paula Gonzalez. From Nottoway Valley, Maddox DeVault. From West Branch, Sasha Koenig. From Maquoketa Valley, Ella Emler. And the captain of the 2021 Class 2A All-Tournament Team from Dike New Hartford, Peyton Peterson.
How about this, Laura? Peyton Peterson has now been, as a freshman, the captain of the all-volleyball team and now the all-basketball team.
And what year is she?
She's a freshman. Unbelievable. There's your all-tournament team. DeVault, who great player for Nottoway Valley. Koenig is going to go play at Bradley. And then the two Wildcats and Wolverines that are on that team. Gonzalez, a senior, but there's a couple of juniors in there that we're going to see again.
I think we might see both of these teams again. Dike New Hartford certainly has the makeup. They don't graduate a lot of points, and they've got a really good group of players coming back.
Now, fans, please help us recognize the 2021 Class 2A runner-up, Coach Scott Monk and the Maquoketa Valley Wildcats. Fans, let's hear it for your 2021 Class 2A champion, the Dike New Hartford Wolverines and head coach Bruce Dahl.
You graduate 4 from a team that played at state last year. Almost an entire new roster. A year later, you're state champions.
They all just came together. The team chemistry was there. They didn't know what they were going to have at the beginning of the year, but as the season wore on, they all came together, and they are raising the trophy.
Well, Dike New Hartford, they complete the year 26-0. Maquoketa Valley 25-1. Both outstanding seasons, and we've had outstanding games on this Saturday. We've given away 2 trophies. We've got another one to go, but first, they're celebrating in Dike and New Hartford. They're the state 2A champions. The 1A championship coming up at 6:30. For all of us here at Iowa PBS, we thank you so very much for watching. Dike New Hartford, your champs in 2A.
Funding provided by...
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we're committed to our foundation of personalized service while treating our customers like family and valuing our employees. Fairway Meat and Grocery, that's what we're all about.
By Musco Lighting, the sports lighting specialists, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community.
Small businesses are the backbone of Iowa's communities, and they are backed by Iowa banks. With advice, loans, and financial services, banks across Iowa are committed to showing small businesses the way to a stronger tomorrow. Learn more at iowabankers.com.